Hey, what's up, everybody? Shankar Singham here for the Red Star Report. Just watching the Derek Chauvin trial, the pathetic excuse of a human being who calls himself a police officer who killed George Floyd, his trial. Just watching it right now and just can't help but think that he's not going to be convicted. So you're going to hear this prediction here first. So I actually just want to talk about how much, and feel free to comment on your guesstimate. The estimated damages on the following riots after the verdict comes out of Chauvin either mistrial or not guilty, because one of those is going to happen. Just the way that the whole court is playing it out, the way that the court plaza area is being fenced off. They're getting ready for a riot. Obviously, they already know they're not going to convict this guy. It's painfully obvious. And so I'm wondering how much damage are the riots going to cause? So since that's what everybody really wants to talk about, everybody wants to talk about, oh, look at these people rioting. Look at all the millions and trillions and cajillions of dollars that they've caused in damage. Nobody wants to talk about why they were rioting. It's because this guy is going to get off. This cop is going to get off. So here you have a man who murdered another man on camera for the whole entire planet to see, clear as day that he murdered this other man, get off in the United States court judicial system, and it's absolutely embarrassing. It's just an embarrassment. And the prosecution is doing a great job trying this cop, but it's the jury selection and what's happening. He's not being convicted. And because cops don't go to jail for this kind of stuff. It's white supremacy, it's white privilege, and cops are used to that. They just won't see any time with this. And they get immunity on every time they shoot somebody. They get immunity, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And if it wasn't for people having cell phones and the ability to have video and videos and cameras and phones there available just to catch a cop doing something questionable, is the only reason why this is becoming more and more prevalent. And as it's coming out, you see how racist they are. It's racist and it's white privilege. I mean, you've got, okay, so last week in the United States, it was that guy who shot 6 Asians, right? He went to the nails and shot 6 Asians, and he gets arrested, right? And the police chief comes out and says, what? Oh, he was having a bad day. He takes responsibility and is having a bad day. Now, if that was any other color, if that was anybody but black or brown, that chief would have been out there like, yep, he confessed to the crime, and he's going to go and he's going to be adjudicated justly just for it, meaning he's going to go to jail. Not, he's having a bad day and he took responsibility for it. What kind of crap is that? Come to find out, that police chief in Georgia that said those comments was selling COVID China shirts last year. So obviously he's a Trump fan, just like all cops are Trump fans. You have the National Union, the National Policemen's Union, donating I don't know how many millions to the Trump campaign. Cops are Trumpers. Period. End of story. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you disagree with that, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I can go make a list here of proving that cops are Trumpers. You have the insurrection. How many law enforcement was in the insurrection? You had law enforcement. You had government agency officers in there. Even the Capitol Police were sympathetic to those people, because cops are Trumpers, meaning white supremacists as well. Painfully obvious. They were walking arm in arm with people with the Dixie flag. Known racist. They didn't care. This is the United States policing, and it's fucked up California too. Dylan Root, the kid that went to a church and shot people in church. He got a burger and fries by the cops afterwards. The Kenosha shooter. The 17-year-old that went through with an AR-15 and started shooting everybody. He comes out with his hands up, surrendering to the cops, and the cops let him go. Drive right past him. Privilege. Then the judge gives him bail. And he's drinking beer at a bar, bragging about it. White privilege, law enforcement. This is the system that what black people have been saying for years. What the left has been claiming for years is systemic racism and white privilege, and all the conservatives have been denying those two things. They don't exist. Explain it then. Explain it. It's absolutely disgusting, and I'm going to share with you a personal story too, because it goes on to prove my point. And if I didn't have such a thick skin and wasn't afraid of going to jail, I think I would probably be more distraught than I was. But I was actually going to make a video a couple of days, 2 days ago, but I got home distraught. Why? Well, I get home from work and decide to have a bowl of cereal, right? No milk. So I have a BMX. I just upgraded new handlebars. I'm like, I'm going to take my BMX out. I grab my backpack, cycle out to the store. On my way to the store, 2 LA sheriffs decide to not even pull me over, but stop me in mid-traffic, jump out of his car, tackle me off my bike, slam me against the car, and the whole time I'm protesting. I'm like, what are you guys doing? What's going on here? Search me, search my bag. I told them there's nothing for me to hide. You guys just let me up and just talk to me. No, they would rather just have my hands behind my back. They said, no, sir. I'm like, why did you pull me over? Oh, well, you didn't have a front light on your handlebars. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, okay, but I have a light in the back. It's like, yeah, but you don't understand. That's not safe, and you can be in an accident. I'm like, you're concerned about me getting in an accident? And he's like, you should see some of the accidents we've seen. I'm like, if you're so concerned about my well-being, then why do you have me slam to your car door with my hands behind your back and your elbow on my neck? Fucking dude, I swear to God. And sheriffs, they aren't the smartest. Cops aren't on the sharp tool list. They're not on the top of that list by any means. Most only have a high school degree, barely, right? You can't be too, how should I put this, wordy with them, I guess. So they run on my license. They of course nothing comes up. They hand me my stuff and get back in their SUV and take off. So what happened to my constitutional rights? My U.S. constitutional rights? Huh? Search and seizure? Fuck that. Fuck the Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights don't mean shit. I don't have those rights. You don't have those rights. Believe it. If you think you have those rights, you're fooling yourself. And the idiots in the military that go and fight in other countries and think they're protecting those rights, that's a joke. Wake the fuck up. It's a racist fucking country. Maybe you have that right if you're white. Maybe. But the rest of us don't. So don't expect us to pledge allegiance. Or sign up and go fight somewhere. Fight some foreign country in some country of a name that you can't even pronounce. And people that you don't even know. That's the United States. And it's white supremacy. The 2 sheriffs that pull me over, let me tell you something about LA County sheriffs. They're the biggest criminal gang in the state, if not the country. LA Sheriff's Department, right here. They have known gangs. If you don't know that yet, welcome. I'm glad I'm illuminating you. But our sheriffs are in gangs. White supremacy gangs. The Vikings, the Regulators, the Executioners out of Compton Station. The sheriffs that pulled me over out of Lakewood Station, I didn't even bring up the fact that they could have been in a gang. But they're all white supremacy gangs. There is one Latino gang in the sheriffs. They're called the Banditos out of East LA, and they are ruthless. Ruthless. Because they target their own people. Other Hispanics. That takes something. Fuck that, man. In fact, if you think I'm making this up, I'm gonna play for you the evidence So you can check it out yourself, because there've been a ton of testimony. Tons of cops have come out and said, yes, we pull over black people. Yes, we arrest black people more than white people, because arresting white people, you don't know who they know, and we will get in trouble. Privilege. I want to play. Do I have to play a video of cops admitting that yes, cops are racist? Yes, cops are in gangs. Do I have to play that video? Because I would rather talk about this next thing that's going to come up. These racist motherfucking cops. They're the front line. They're the front line for the white supremacy movement. And all they're praying about, all they want, is a RAHOWA, racial holy war, is what they call it. Meaning they want a war between them and everybody else that's not white. Or sympathizing whites. And guess what, folks? That racial holy war, they're going to get it. It's coming. The way things are going right now, this trial could be the catalyst for it, because this cop is going to get away with it, either acquitted or mistrial, and that could trigger this racial holy war. And when it happens, folks, guess what? It's going to happen. Guess what? They're going to win. The right wing is going to win. Why are they going to win? They're all the way entrenched into our government, all the way on up high. Who knows how high? Into the administration even. We all know that because the insurrectionists had FBI agents, had National Guardsmen in there, military, law officers from all over the country went there. This group also are all pro-Second Amendment. They're the ones crying out for their guns of the past 20, 30 years. Why do you think that was? Because they've been stockpiling. Waiting for this war. Then there's that other group that they have there. They store all this food and supplies, and they I forgot what they're called. But they've been preparing for this, and they're ready for it, and it's going to happen, and they're going to win, folks. They're going to win. What has the left been doing the whole time? Laughing at them, right? Why do they need their guns? So that racial holy war, that little race war, it's going to happen. And it's probably going to split the United States up. Here's the caveat to the whole thing. California, they will never take California. They can have their racial holy war all the way in the rest of the United States, but they will never have California. Whites are the minority here. Every weapon in the U.S. comes through our ports first. We got homeboys with Israeli Uzis and RPGs for sale. They will never take Cali, period. Thank God. Man, maybe I should play these deputies admitting that sheriffs aren't a gang. Or Google it up. There's tons of cops that have wrote books on their experiences in law enforcement, and they themselves admit it time after time after time after time. And the rest of you white people just don't want to look at it in the face. And you, by doing that, you're just as complicit. And I know I'm saying the right things. I know I'm not being racist, because I have white brothers and sisters that agree with me 100%. I've stood right next to them on the streets. Anyways, that's all I got to say. Red Star Report, brought to you by Cyberlink now. Check out the website, redstarreport.com. Also Facebook, Instagram. Check out all social media. Still launching the channel. I got my first interview coming up with Maria Estrada. That's scheduled in since we've got all the schematics and kinks worked out. We're going to go ahead and do our first interview with Maria Estrada. She ran for assembly against the president of the assembly, Anthony Rendon, and lost. Ran twice and almost caught him the second time. He had quite a big coffer of money there for his re-election campaign. But she rocks, guys. She's probably one of the direct action activist gurus I know. So Maria Estrada, that's the next interview coming up. Stay tuned for that. Other than that, stay tuned. Just be alert. Look for white supremacy out there, folks. It's out there. That is the true enemy. I know you think I'm beating that horn, beating that bell, beating that carcass, beating that horse, whatever, a lot, but it's true. I see it everywhere. So, anyways, you guys have a wonderful night and an awesome tomorrow. It's Friday tomorrow, so let's take it easy this weekend. We're still not over COVID, so take it easy and go get a vaccine if you can. Thanks. Bye, guys.